Good morning, I'm Abheudaya Shrestha, and these are the headlines of the hour. Newly appointed Chief Minister of Lumini Province, Mahara, to take the vote of confidence today. Speaker Tularam Ghartimagar calls the Province Assembly meeting at 1 p.m. for the floor test. Construction of the 900 megawatt Arun 3 hydroelectricity project at rapid pace. 73% of the construction works complete in 5 years. Project expected to complete on schedule. Israel says it has been bracing for possible Iranian retaliation for the killing of a senior general and 6 other Iranian officers in an airstrike in the Syrian capital Damascus earlier this month. And Nepal men's national cricket team to play against Malaysia in their first match of the ACC Mens Premier Cup today, aim to win the tournament to secure their spot in the T20 Asia Cup. Newly appointed Chief Minister of Lumini Province, Mahara, is scheduled to take the vote of confidence at the Province Assembly today. Speaker Tularam Ghartimagar has called for the meeting of the Lumini Province Assembly at 1 p.m. for the floor test. Mahara was appointed the Chief Minister of Lumini Province last Friday after receiving the support of 48 Province Assembly members. Mahara, who was appointed Chief Minister by Province Governor Amik Sherchan last Friday, took the oath of office and secrecy last Sunday. Chief Minister Mahara has the support of 48 Province Assembly members, including 29 from CPN-UML, 10 from CPN-Maoist Center, 4 from Nagrik Unmukti Party, 3 from Janata Samajwadi Party, 1 from CPN Unified Socialist, and from independent member Khadak Basnet. Along with the Chief Minister, newly appointed ministers Chet Narayan Acharya from CPN-UML, Bhandari Lal Ahir from Janata Samajwadi Party, and Dipendra Poon from CPN-Maoist Center have not been given responsibilities of any ministries yet. It has been informed that Chief Minister Mahara will expand the cabinet only after securing the vote of confidence. The construction of the 900 megawatt Arun 3 hydroelectricity project is ongoing at a rapid pace. Around 73% of the construction of the infrastructures, including the tunnel, powerhouse, and dam, have been complete in 5 years. If the construction works of the project continues at this pace, the project is expected to complete on the scheduled time. The 12.5 kilometer tunnel from the construction site of the Arun 3 hydroelectricity project is 95% complete. Indian construction company Satlaj has also informed that the 597 towers which are being constructed along the 217 kilometer stretch have been complete 16%. Likewise, the digging works for the construction of the 80-meter dam has also been complete. The construction of roads and powerhouses are also ongoing. The construction company says the construction of the 900 megawatt Arun 3 hydroelectricity project, which started 5 years ago, will complete on time if construction works continue at this rapid pace. The 11.78 kilometer long tunnel with a circumference of 9.5 meters that brings water to the powerhouse in Pukhua of Chichila Rural Municipality from Sangkhwa Sabha's Makalu Rural Municipality is also at its final stage. The government is set to hold the investment summit on 28th and 29th of April this month. A total of 128 projects of agriculture, hydroelectricity, communications, and industries are being showcased. However, at a time when the sports sector is in need of large infrastructures, not a single project of the sector holding immense investment possibilities has been included. The government leadership and the private sector does not seem aware about the fact that the sports sector can grow as an industry with great economic returns in itself. The main purpose of the investment summit is to invite large investments for the economic development of the country. Nepal is holding the investment summit for the 3rd time. However, neither the government nor the private sector seem to be aware about the sports sector being a significant factor for economic prosperity of the country. Prime ministers and sports ministers never miss out on presenting Nepal's prospects as a neutral venue. However, they have never paid serious attention towards the construction of infrastructures. Analysts have said that the sports sector of the country has remained ignored because of the economic condition of the nation and the requirements of the sector. However, no agenda of sports at the investment summit is a clear evidence to the drought in the thought process of the government and the private sector. Craze of cricket has grown immensely in recent time. The Tribhuvan University International Cricket Ground in Kantipur can no longer accommodate the spectators reaching the venue to support Nepal. Infrastructures of Biratnagar, Bhairawa, Birganj and Dhangadi remain incomplete. Despite the lapse of years since the beginning of the construction works of the lower ground at Mulpani with government investment, it remains to be completed. In the absence of an alternative to the Dasrath Stadium, the men's national football team is compelled to play home games at opponents' ground. National sport volleyball has been stranded without its own covered hall for several years. The sports sector cannot grow without investment from the government and the private sector. Despite the opportunity to present its proposals for investment when provided the opportunity, the Ministry of Youth and Sports did not furnish its agenda. The private sector also did not pay any attention in this regard. Investment in the sports sector is generated by the sector itself. While tourism is considered one strong source of revenue of Nepal, sports tourism has remained forever ignored. Having 2 to 4 international standard stadiums is not just about organizing some sports events. These venues also help in increasing local businesses and creation of employment opportunities while also boosting sports tourism. Competition among the private sector for the investment in the sports sector can be seen in neighboring India. Multinational companies are investing massively in the sports sector, and the athletes in Germany, South Korea, and Japan, among other countries, with evident returns on investment. Nepal could be a small market, but without starting with investments, the nation could forever remain behind in the sports sector. It's now time for our segment Public Pulse, where you text us with your opinion.
Public Pulse.
Here's the question. Why have sports infrastructures not been prioritized for the investment summit? Your options are A, not understanding the significance, B, inadequate lobbying, and C, projects not identified. The voting is on. Type NEWS, select your option A, B, or C, and send it to 34001 to share your opinion with us. Two major tourist destinations of Katmandu, Thamel and Darbar Marga are to open 24 hours from tomorrow, the 1st of Baisakh as per the Nepali calendar, which is also the new Nepali year. Based on the recommendation of the Ministry of Home Affairs, Thamel Tourism Development Council and Darbar Marga Development Board jointly prepared criteria and are to operate local businesses around the clock without affecting security arrangements and the society. Businesses have said that operating the areas with relatively higher movement of tourists around the clock is likely to aid in reviving the economy. There are around 8,500 businesses in Thamel with around 60,000 employed. Meanwhile, the Darbar Marga area has around 200 businesses with 7,000 employed. With these two areas operating 24 hours a day, more jobs are expected to be created. The Asian Development Bank has anticipated Nepal's economy to grow by 3.6% at market prices in the fiscal year 2024, up from an estimated growth of 1.9% in the fiscal year 2023. The Asian Development Outlook, April 2024, a flagship publication of the Asian Development Bank, has stated that a gradual relaxation of monetary policy coupled with improved consumer and investor confidence is expected to stimulate economic activity in the fiscal year 2024. It has said that the service sector growth is likely to accelerate as credit controls ease, interest rates further decrease, and tourism revenues expand. The Asian Development Bank has also recommended the government to expedite development expenditure. As per the outlook, agriculture growth may increase marginally from 2.7% in the fiscal year 2023 to 2.8% as a record rice harvest is tempered by a shortfall in winter crops and other agricultural production given the deficient rainfall this winter season. The report projects annual average inflation to fall to 6.5% in the fiscal year 2024 from 7.7% in the fiscal year 2023 on subdued oil prices and a decline in inflation in India, Nepal's main import source. External risks remain relatively well contained. The current account deficit may fall again into deficit after registering a surplus in the first half of the fiscal year 2024. Asian Development Bank principal economist for Nepal, Jan Hansen, has said that the downside risks to the economic outlook in the fiscal year 2024 may arise from a downturn in the global economy affecting Nepal's tourism and remittance receipts. The outlook has added that any intensified geopolitical turmoil could disrupt supply chains, pushing up global inflation and tightening global financial conditions, which may lead to a tightening of domestic monetary policy, undermining investment and consumption and dragging down growth. Last week, the World Bank had projected Nepal's economic growth rate to figure at 3.3% in 2024. The government of Nepal has set an economic growth rate of 6% for the ongoing fiscal year. In our Public Voice segment, we have asked people in several provinces about the significance of Eid. Let's take a look at what they had to say.
सबैजनाले एक ठाउँमा बसेर खुसी मनाउँछु नमाज पढ्छु
सबै प्यार मोहब्बतले आपसमा मेल मिलाप भेटचाट मिठो मिठो खाना खाउने अनि ईद त्योहार मनाउने
30 दिन हामी रोजा बसेको अनि हामी चाहिँ यसमा ईदको दिन हामी रमाइलो गर्छौं
हाम्रो मुस्लिमहरुको सबभन्दा ठूलो पर्व ईदलाई भनिन्छ ईद कठिन पर्व हो तर खुशी धेरै फिल गर्छहरु
अब ईद भन्ने बित्तिकै चाहिँ हाम्रो मुस्लिम धर्महरुको पवित्र चाड रमजानसँग चाहिँ जोडिएर आएको हुन्छ के
एक महिना व्रत बसेर ईद मनाउँछौं
एक महिनाको व्रत सकेपछि अल्लाहले हामीलाई एक ईदको दिन सेलिब्रेट गर्न दिएको हुन्छन्
ईद कसरी मनाइन्छ भने आफ्नो यो खुसीको ईद हो
दान दक्षिणा गर्न नि पाइयो तराई पढ्न नि पाइयो यो अल्लाहको लागि
It's time now for the international update. Israel said it has been bracing for possible Iranian retaliation for the killing of a senior general and 6 other Iranian officers in an airstrike in the Syrian capital of Damascus on 1st of April earlier this month. Israel Chief Military Spokesperson Rear Admiral Daniel Hagari said civilians were not being told to make any special preparations, but added Israel was highly prepared for a range of scenarios. Most Israeli troops have been pulled out of Gaza in preparation for an assault on the southern Gaza city of Rafah, where more than 1 million Palestinians are sheltering, but fighting has continued in various areas of the enclave. The fighting in Gaza, now in its 7th month, has overshadowed the increasingly tense situation further north, where Israeli troops have engaged in daily exchanges of fire with Hezbollah militia fighters across the border in Lebanon. Meanwhile, Gaza's health ministry has said at least 63 Palestinians were killed and 45 injured in Israeli attacks across the enclave in the past 24 hours. The World Health Organization has said destruction in Khan Yunis and damage to the medical sector is disproportionate to anything one can imagine after the Israeli army withdrawal. At least 33,545 Palestinians have been killed and 76,094 injured in Israeli attacks on Gaza since 7th of October last year. The death toll in Israel from Hamas's October 7 attacks stands at 1,139, with dozens of people still held captive.
Sports news.
The ACC Men's Premier Cup begins in Oman today. Nepal men's national cricket team are up against Malaysia in their first match of the tournament, which is being participated by 10 top associate nations. 4 matches are lined up for today. Nepal will face Malaysia in the Group A match, which is scheduled to kick off at 4:15 p.m. Nepal time at the Oman Turf Ground 1. Nepal have been victorious against Malaysia in their last 5 T20 matches. Team Nepal, led by Rohit Paudel, reached Oman after winning the SMS Friendship Cup in Gujarat, India. As the team reached Oman late Wednesday night, the practice match against Oman was not held yesterday. Prior to heading to Gujarat, Nepal had won the two-match T20 series against Ireland Wolves. Nepal are the defending champions of the ACC Men's Premier Cup, as they had defeated United Arab Emirates in the previous final on home ground and had participated in the Asia Cup. Team Nepal have been in regular preparation for the T20 World Cup and are strong contenders of the ACC Premier Cup. After winning the ODI format of the ACC Premier Cup last year, Team Nepal had displayed impressive performances against strong teams India and Pakistan. Teams participating at the ACC Men's Premier Cup have been divided into two groups. Nepal are in Group A alongside Hong Kong, Malaysia, Qatar and Saudi Arabia. Meanwhile, Group B includes Bahrain, Cambodia, Kuwait, Oman and the United Arab Emirates. The winner of the ACC Men's Premier Cup will qualify for the 2025 Asia Cup. Hong Kong are also facing Qatar today in the match that also starts at 4:15 p.m. Nepal time. Meanwhile, hosts Oman are up against Bahrain in the match that kicks off at 11:45 p.m. a.m. Nepal time, while UAE will face Kuwait at the same time. Nepal's matches at the ACC Men's Premier Cup will be broadcast live on Kantipur Television and Kantipur Max. Taekwondo's Roshan Magar has won the Men's Best Player of the Year Chapa Sports Award, while boxing's Trisha Jawegu bagged the Women's Best Player of the Year award. At the Sports Award ceremony organized in Birta Mode yesterday, Roshan Magar brushed aside national football team's defender Ananta Tamang and swimming's Prarambha Bhandari to claim the Men's Best Player of the Year award. Likewise, Trisha Jawegu was adjudged the Women's Best Player of the Year, as Kabaddi's Anuja Kulung Rai and table tennis's Sika Sual Shrestha were also nominated for the award. Swimming's Prarambha Bhandari bagged the Best Youth Player of the Year award, while cricketer Rubina Chetri won the People's Choice Award, and boxing's Dambar Limbu was adjudged the Best Coach of the Year. Likewise, Olympian Menuka Rawat was felicitated with the Lifetime Achievement Award, while the Special Achievement Award went to referee Shyam Danwar. Likewise, Ramesh Samadarshi won the Best Sports Journalist Award. That's all for the moment. Thank you for watching. Have a good day.